and welcome back to Inspired by Tasia. Today I'm going to go over the randomization list. I'm going to provide some information for you guys so that you can know what to expect this winter season coming up as it relates to the randomization list. Is the randomization list and what it is used for. The randomization list, it is a list of employers who file petition whether for the summer season or the winter season. So we all know that the winter season starts October 1st and it ends March 31st. So this upcoming winter season will start October 1st, 2024 and will go on to March 31st, 2025. So as it relates to the randomization list for this season, there is normally a list of employers. So everyone who files H2B petitions, we're going to refer to the winter season for this winter season. So they will start sending in their applications the first week of January. Say they send in their applications January 3rd, 4th, and 5th on those dates. So when they submit those applications, they are placed in a group. And we all know the groups go from like A, B, C, D, and onwards. It just depends on how many employers are actually filing petitions. So when they go ahead and submit their H2B applications, they are placed in a group and it's like a lottery system. No one knows for sure which group they will be placed in. This list is available to the public and employers to let them know what groups they are placed in. So the randomization list is a list of employers who file H2B applications so that they can know which group they fall in. As to what the randomization list is used for, we use the randomization list to know which employers will be able to hire out of country based on their grouping they were placed in. So we all know employers that are placed in the A category and some of B and maybe C, and it really depends. Those employers will be able to hire out of country because the 33,000 capped amount of visas for first timers, it will be finished in A and some parts of B, and who knows, maybe C. It all depends on how soon an employer submit their documents and get their process going. We are the ones that use the list the most. The employers, the list is just available so they can know which group they fall in. Normally, within the first week of July, employers will know what group they fall in. Whether the first to the second week they use the list for is just to know what groups they're in. Also, their immigration attorney normally provide this information to them. So if they have an attorney that is handling the process as it relates to H2B, their attorney will let them know what group they fall in and their likeliness of getting whether out of country or whatever visas they might be eligible for. We will talk about when the randomization list will become available. So the randomization list will become available anywhere from the first to the second week in July. And remember that we're referring to the winter season. So it will be available within the first or the second week of July. And what we use this list for is, because once this list becomes available, I will also inform you guys. It is available on the US Department of Labor's website. You can find it there, and if it's a tedious process in finding it, we will also let you know when it's available and try our best to have it posted on our channel. The randomization list, it does not come sorted. It's a sheet and it has say A, B, C, D, E, but don't expect that when you go on the list you're gonna see all the employers in A and all the employers in B and whatnot. What we do is we sort the list so we can have all the employers in A in one section, all the employers in B in one section, and so on and so forth. So the list doesn't come sorted, but we try to sort it and then try to provide it to you guys. Also, if you are following my Instagram page, which is Inspired by Tasia, we will go ahead and have the list posted on our story once it becomes available. Also, persons should note that it's not guaranteed that a list will be available. It's just based on past years or past seasons, and we realized that there was a list last year. However, the year before, which was 2022, there was no list. So the list, it just really depends, but if it's available, we will go ahead and provide that information to you. So as it relates to the randomization list, tips as it relates to the list and how to use it. So first and foremost, we all know that you will have case numbers, you will have the employer name, maybe, or the name that they filed under. So that is a very important thing to note, that you don't have to see the employer's name. However, you might see the name that they file under. So it's not a case where you would have like maybe Holiday Inn, right? Or you will have Sunset Resort. Sometimes those companies are under different names and they file under these names, but it's not the specific name for the company itself. And then sometimes there is the umbrella companies that have a lot of companies under that umbrella, and they file under the head name. That is something to consider as well. Using the list, how does one use the randomization list? Many of you guys might know that I did a video some months ago about using the randomization list. We all know we have the case numbers, we have the employer's name, we have the states as well, the attorney that filed or prepared their application. I think there's some other columns as well. So what we do is we research the company's name. Whatever name is there, that's the name that we research. We copy that, we paste it in Google, right? We search and try to see how best we can find these companies, because remember, the Department of Labor's website that all the jobs normally post on, they will not start posting until they reach a certain step in their H2B application. So the jobs won't start posting on that website for now. So when the list becomes available, we take advantage of the time that it becomes available and try to Google these companies and research them and try to apply to them and try to get some form of information as it relates to applying to them. Case numbers, we normally paste it in the Department of Labor's website, and you can pull up maybe a job order or just the posting that was made. But as I mentioned before, the jobs won't be available on there as yet. At this point in time, the case number is not necessary for you to copy and paste. The main thing you should be focusing on when the list becomes available is to Google the company's name and try to find out what company they're under. Then you try to go on the company's website, or you try to call, or maybe there's an email address that you can go ahead and send your resume to. So the randomization list, it is not necessarily like for us, right? It is just there to the general public, but it's not to say, okay, this is what you use to apply. It is just a technique that we use. You're seeing all the information about every employer that filed a petition. What we use it for is, say I have an employer in mind that I want to go with this winter, right? I could be a first timer, I could be in country, I could be a returning worker, anything. So when I see my employer that I have in mind and I want to know, are they going to be able to take out of country workers this season? What I can do is I can go ahead and search for them on that list to see what group they fell into. Once I see what group they fell into, then I will have an idea. Say, okay, maybe they're not able to take out of country, and maybe they are. Using the randomization list, you want to ensure that you are actually doing proper research for some of the companies. You will see a lot of LLCs. You will see a lot of limited liability companies. So it's just a lot of stuff that you might see. You might not see a direct name, as I mentioned earlier. You can Google and just read and just try to see how best you can search this information. Also, if you want to know what positions a company filed petitions for, you can copy those case numbers and put it in the case status search, and you will be able to see the positions that they recruited for. Once they start posting these jobs on the Department of Labor website, then you will be able to see the number of workers that they requested. So remember, the case statuses, we can search that in case status search to see the job title or the job position that they filed petition for. As it relates to the companies, we will Google the companies off the randomization list and try to see how best we can find an email or find a number on Google or something to apply with. As it relates to the Department of Labor's website, the jobs won't post as yet. So the only thing that we won't be able to see anything there until the jobs actually start posting. But at least you can have an idea of the job title or the position that the company is recruiting for. You will be able to Google these companies and try to reach out to them before they have posted on the Department of Labor's website. As it relates to the case status search, I will be putting those links in the description so you guys can have access to them. I will have the Department of Labor's website link in the description as well. The randomization list, it is a great tool that we use when applying, but we want to ensure that we know certain information before we go ahead and rush to apply and reach out to these companies and all of that stuff. It gives us certain information. It lets us know. It puts us in a better position when we are applying, because you don't want to be just sending your resume and sending emails and job inquiries to companies that might not be able to take first timers. If we're being honest, the list, it is a great tool. We can use it to ensure that, okay, we are applying to these companies that are actually able to take out of country. Because if you focus on C and then C is not a good probability versus, you know, the A companies and some of the B companies, it's good to actually know that, hey, these companies are going to be able to take out of country. So let me just go ahead and send my resume and make job inquiries and call these companies, because then you have a better chance. You don't want to waste your time applying to companies that are not going to be able to take you, and that's just the truth. That's just some general information I wanted to provide as it relates to the randomization list. I have a detailed video of how to use the list, and you can view this video. And leading up to the time when the list will be released, as we mentioned, the list will be released within the first or second week of July. You can watch that video to get more in-depth information on how to use the list. I have a screen recording there showing you guys how I'm actually there using the list. So you can watch that video when it gets closer to that time. Also, I just wanted to inform persons that my WhatsApp group is closed. We closed it on Sunday at 12 p.m. and we are working with those persons in the group. We still have our resume service if you are interested in it. And also, I want to let you guys know that the H2B visa application service that you guys see on my page, on my Instagram page, it is not for an H2B application to give you a job or anything. It's once we have reached that part in the process, because you would have to have an approved petition before I can go ahead and offer that service to you. So that service is basically down the line when persons get their offers and their employees get their petition approved and they're now at the visa application process. So that's what that service is for. We have or in-country or returning workers group, and we add our returning workers to our first-timer group so that they can take advantage of the information there and not just information specifically for returning workers. So persons messaging, if you have any questions or concerns, you can message me on Instagram. We still have our services. We will have a weekly video and or a weekly live, which will let you know how far we are at the process. As it gets closer to applying, I will be giving you guys updates and tips and just general information so it can help you with applying. So you can look out for a video every week, you know, some necessary and important information. If you have questions, you can reach out to me on Instagram. It's Inspired by Tasia. And you can subscribe and turn on your post notifications so every time I release a video, you will see it. I'm trying to ensure that I do a live each week so it's interactive and persons can ask any questions that they have, you know, because not everyone can be added to the group, and as you guys know, the group is closed. So I want to have an interactive session each week where persons can ask questions and I can be there answering those questions for you guys. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for the support, and you can feel free to send me a message if you have any questions. Reach out to me if you have questions about how to apply in the process. I have older videos that will explain that process to you. But until then, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much and have a good day.